Our program continues with our next speaker, Krysta DeBoer. Krysta is the Executive Director of the Center for Urban Teaching, a role she has held since 2012. The Center for Urban Teaching is an independent Christian nonprofit that identifies, prepares, and supports high-performing urban teachers and leaders for choice, charter, and public schools. Since 2010, the program has grown from 8 participants to now serving more than 1,500 prospective teachers and candidates nationally. Under Krysta's leadership, the organization has gone from being fully reliant on philanthropy to now covering 40% of its expenses through earned revenue. Prior to joining the center, Krysta was a 7th and 8th grade reading and writing teacher and lead instructional mentor to new staff at Home Christian School. Please welcome Krysta DeBoer.
Good morning. As Kate just shared, my name is Krysta DeBoer, and I am the Executive Director of the Center for Urban Teaching. And more importantly, I'm a proud alumna. And now that you're all part of our family, we're going to call Center for Urban Teaching Seafoot. I was told that all speakers get 8 minutes today. I am carrying twins, so I feel that as long as I keep it to less than 24 minutes, I'm really looking good today. It is my distinct honor and privilege to share a little bit more about our organization and what success looks like. The Center for Urban Teaching exists to identify, prepare, and support high-performing urban teachers, leaders, and schools. Our vision is to be the #1 producer and provider of high-performing urban teachers and leaders that are better prepared, better retained, and better positioned to have an increased impact on student achievement. This is a radical mission and vision because as we go about our work, we are facing a teacher shortage crisis. This year, teacher shortages have left classrooms vacant because there are simply not enough teachers to teach. In 2019, even before the pandemic, there were already 100,000 vacancies for teachers where the demand exceeded the supply for the first time ever in our nation's history. That's before the pandemic. Since then, an additional 600,000 educators have left the field. On top of that, students enrolling to become teachers is down 35% nationally. Given these trends, the Economic Policy Institute predicts we can expect the national teacher shortage will result in roughly 200,000 fewer teachers by 2025 on top of the gap I just shared that already exists, unless we take action. Despite these disturbing trends in the pipeline and the dismal student achievement data that Brittany, my friend from City Forward Collective, shared with you earlier, Seafoot has expanded its pipeline from 8 participants in 2010 to now serving over 1,000 active teacher and leader candidates from over 50 universities across the nation. That's an increase of over 8,000% in just a decade concerning our pipeline. To date, Seafoot has trained and placed 528 alumni teachers and leaders in Milwaukee, over 70% of which continue to serve over 25,000 scholars across our city today. Of those 528 alumni, over 20 are currently active sitting principals at area schools. Currently, 100% of our teacher and leader candidates report an increase in their confidence, competence, and character as a result of Seafoot's training and experience. We strive really hard to ensure our teachers and leaders are better prepared because research time and time again continues to demonstrate that teacher quality is the #1 determining factor in student achievement, and exceptional school leaders are what grow and retain that top teaching talent. 81% of Seafoot alumni continue to serve for 4 or more years. As far as we know, this is the highest teacher retention rate in the nation. We strive to ensure our teachers and leaders are better retained because we know that a one and done, meaning 1 year and out, is not going to create lasting impact for our kids. Currently, 50% of all teachers leave the field within the first 5 years, And unfortunately, because teachers feel ill-equipped for the job and the strain of the classroom, 30% leave after only the first year. Now, it's good to produce and retain a pipeline of teachers and leaders, but we don't actually consider that success or great if they don't have a positive impact on students, which is why we also strive to ensure our teachers and leaders are better positioned to have an increased impact on student achievement. And we're proud to announce that 9 of the top 10 highest scoring Milwaukee schools on the Wisconsin State Report Card are CFOOT partner schools. And 6 of those schools serve as host sites for the CFOOT Summer School program. Representatives are here in the room today from at least 8 of the schools that are listed here. So you should definitely talk to them. Abby from Aug Prep will be on stage in a little bit, and Bruce will also be speaking to you, who represents the Seton Catholic schools. CFOOT partner schools also exceeded expectations on the state report card on average, beating both city and statewide scores in the categories of student growth and overall accountability. This indicates students at CFOOT partner schools are experiencing more and faster academic growth than they would at an average school anywhere in the district or state. We also know the greater the level of involvement from CFOOT in a school, the better the scores. Given that CFOOT doesn't deny access to services based on school performance, we believe this is indicative of systemic change. Now, these results I just shared are phenomenal, but they are not our own and reflect the hard work and contribution of our alumni, teachers, and leaders, our partner schools, our universities, and funders like Siebert Lutheran Foundation and Northwestern Mutual. If you represent one of these groups, why don't you take a stand right now and get a round of applause just for these great results that you have achieved. It's okay. I saw a bunch of people look at me and be like, sorry we didn't stand. Why don't you raise your hand if you're from an alumni, a partner school, just so we can recognize you for a moment. Okay, I see a few more hands coming up. While we don't believe there's a silver bullet, we know that CFOOT's person first, focus on calling over career, and experiential-based training are the key ingredients in our recipe that have allowed us to achieve the highest teacher retention rate and continue to increase the number of teachers and leaders serving annually despite industry trends. We invest in people, their character, and in relationships because we believe in order to be a great teacher or leader, you have to be a great person first. This means we focus on serving the person first and the professional connection second. You need to develop your character if you want to lead students to develop theirs, because you simply can't give away what you don't already own. So we go really deep with our candidates, not just from a skills standpoint, but from a character standpoint, because who you are impacts what you do, and what you believe impacts how successful your students will be in your classroom. As Rob Rouse shared, there isn't a brilliance gap, there's an opportunity gap. Our teachers and leaders help close that gap and truly believe all students will learn at high levels. Second, because we see teaching as a calling, individuals in our pipeline are less likely to see this as just their next career move. The center's job is simply to equip them with the staying power to fulfill that calling, which means helping them develop the grit muscles they'll need to succeed in an urban classroom through our third key ingredient, experiential training. We believe experience is the best teacher, and you should do it before you enter the field. So a key component of our program is experiential training through CFOOT's Summer School program, which provides participants the opportunity to put theory to practice. Schools across Milwaukee and Racine give us the keys and the kids during the summer and allow our candidates to assume the full responsibility of what it means to be a teacher or leader. Last year, Summer School was hosted at 19 sites in Milwaukee and Racine. It trained over 200 teachers and leaders and helped to eliminate 2 to 3 months of learning loss for over 1,500 scholars, where instead of loss, students demonstrated gains, with an average of 21% growth in reading and math over a 4-week period. Once a candidate graduates from our program, we don't stop the relationship. CFOOT continues to walk with them from college to the classroom and provide at least 2 years of ongoing support through one-on-one coaching to ensure their continued success and the success of their students. Why does this matter? Because we believe the commitment of individual teachers and leaders will not only transform our schools, but also our cities, our state, and our country. As I said before, teacher quality is the #1 determining factor in student achievement and the development of our future workforce. No matter what changes in our world, what new research is produced, that holds true. We focus on developing school leaders as well, because we know that exceptional school leaders empower teachers and retain them in the field longer. Ultimately, we believe that our teachers, our leaders, and our schools hold our children's future in their hands. At Seafoot, we get to help shape that future. The teacher shortage crisis is a solvable problem. As I've demonstrated to you today, Seafoot alumni know what works and are making a difference in our classrooms. We believe it takes a village. If we are going to solve the teacher shortage crisis facing our city and state and close the achievement gap, we are all going to have to put our arms around this and leverage the full power of our village. The formula I just shared is really actually very simple. It's not rocket science, but it is incredibly hard work. At Seafoot, we like to say the difference between a crisis and an opportunity is you. We can all play a part in the effort to solve the teacher shortage crisis and close the achievement gap for our scholars. There is no superhero or knight in shining armor that's coming to rescue us. There is no silver bullet. You are the hero that our scholars and our schools are waiting for. This is your time. This is our time. You can make a difference. You are the difference. Thank you for being here today.